He said, but masculine men will always stand behind. Tom is a masculine man. Masculine men will always stand behind alpha men who are always talking and toting and bravadoing. He goes, and we'll just wait for them to run out of gas. He said, but we don't ever try to get in front of them. It's not our personality. He said, but we're the ones that's always there for you when you're crying.
All right. Welcome to Secrets of the Mind of a Man. I am your man, Kelvin Troy Johnson, KTJ. And this is the show. We get into it. We talk about how men think when it comes to dating, relationships, and love. And I'm telling you right now, you're not going to hear anything like this out there on the internet because, hey, I actually have a background in working with men for 17 years. I come from the social work business, come from the church, from the fraternity. I always working with men. And here I am to bring you this. So, you guys, we got another reaction. Lisa Nichols is a genius. She's a big timer. So I thought this was interesting when I saw her come up on this one because she is like, I didn't even know that she was actually had a stable man. She's been a highly successful speaker out there on the market. I've learned a lot from her and even in my presentations. And so, but this is interesting. She has a long story about the guy who was her baby's father and like all of that. And so it sounds like she's let that loser go and got somebody better for her. So, but this is interesting. I want to take this apart. I'm gonna let this play from the beginning all the way through, and then come back, and we're gonna take this apart. I need everybody to hit that subscribe button. Let me come back to you. I need y'all to hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, hit the like button. We going up, y'all, and we going up in a whole different way than anything else you've seen out there. So, if y'all ready, I'm ready. Let's get this thing popping.
We're the ones that's always going to support you through your hard time. But we're also the ones you're always going to step over to get to the alpha male. He said, because television polarizes and displays and honors the alpha male. He goes, and I have nothing against them. He said, but there's a whole group of beautiful men called masculine men. And we're not aggressive. And we're not bravado. And we're not going to billy club you over the head and drag you back to the cave. That's not our personality. But we will just be there for you.
All right. So just to give you guys some context of what this is, Lisa Nichols is in an interview, and she's talking about the man who I think is her husband at this point. She's out having a conversation talking about the men that she dates. Now, you would think that a woman like this would really have no problems getting dates. I've been at some of her events, and it's nothing for her to have a 6-figure day at an event, right? She has these events, and like she'll bring home 6 figures in that one 3-day weekend. Sometimes in one day, bam, she's just got it like that. Okay, but even so, she still struggles in relationships. And I'm telling you, I don't care how much money you have. If you're a woman out there making money, making moves, it doesn't matter, because love and money are 2 different things. You could be successful in money and be a loser in love. All right. Let's take this apart from the top. I'm going to let it run from the top so you guys can get the full scope of this. Let's go.
And let me tell you what my husband told me on our second date.
Her husband.
Because I'm like telling him about the alpha males that pursue me and they come after me. And why aren't you doing that? And a strong woman like me would respond to a strong man. And he looked at me with a very calm face. He said, I'm a masculine man. I'm not an alpha male. He said, alpha males are hunters, but they're not keepers. He said, I'm a keeper. He said, but masculine men will always stand behind. Tom is a masculine man. Masculine men will always stand behind alpha men who are always talking and toting and bravadoing. He goes, and we'll just wait for them to run out of gas. He said, but we don't ever try to get in front of them. It's not our personality. He said, but we're the ones that's always there for you when you're crying. We're the ones that's always going to support you through your hard time. But we're also the ones you're always going to step over to get to the alpha male. He said, because television polarizes and displays and honors the alpha male. He goes, and I have nothing against them. He said, but there's a whole group of beautiful men called masculine men. And we're not aggressive. And we're not bravado. And we're not going to billy club you over the head and drag you back to the cave. That's not our personality. But we will just be there for you.
All right. So so this is the alpha man versus the masculine man. Now, I would love to hear y'all thoughts on this masculine man versus the alpha man. For the guys who are watching, does this even matter to you? I'd love to hear that. And for the ladies who are watching, does this matter to you? Right now, here's what I hear when I hear this guy. I hear this guy comparing himself to other men, which is something that beta men do. Alpha men only compare themselves when they're trying to win. This guy is somewhat putting down the alpha man, which is a little beta. Okay. So, but he says, hey, well, I'm a masculine man. I like that idea, right? Here's what I like about this guy. I like a guy who knows who he is and is not afraid to admit what he is. Now, there's somebody that would be like, oh, he said he's not an alpha man. I don't want to not a guy who's not an alpha man. I want a go-getter. I want a guy who's going to knock everybody over and going to save the day. And and we often talk about some of those guys who many of the women want that top guy. I call him a serious guy, the serious man, right? The man who is most wanted. Well, if he's most wanted by you, he's also most wanted by all the other women, right? And so some of what this guy had to say was true. Let's get a little bit more of that. Of her husband's name is Tom. Let's hear it.
And let me tell you what my husband told me on our second date, because I'm like,
okay. On their second date, he's telling her who he is and where they stand. Right? On the second date. This is something that I like. I like a guy who to lay it out in the beginning. Don't try and make her guess as to what you're all about, what you're doing. Just tell her. Either she's going to be with it or she's going to get lost. And both ways are just fine.
Telling him about the alpha males that pursue me and they come after me. And why?
Look, so she's telling him about the alpha males who come after her. Why is she telling him about the alpha males who come after her? Because she's trying to see if he's going to step up and be like them. Fellas, this is a good example for you to pay attention to. You are not to be in competition with anybody because it says you're insecure about who you are.
Aren't you doing that? And a strong woman like me would respond to a strong man.
A strong woman like me would respond to a strong man. Right? She's trying to put him in a category. Listen to me. Never let somebody put you in a category. You are the category. You create the category. They either get in your box or they get gone. Especially if they expect you to be the leader. Let's go.
And he looked at me with a very calm face. He said, I'm a masculine man. I'm not an alpha male.
Look, she didn't see that coming. She was like, well, wait a minute. What, huh? You mean you're not going to follow behind me like a little dog? You're not going to, you're not going to just follow the place that I want you to go and be what I want you to be? Absolutely not.
He said, alpha males are hunters, but they're not keepers.
Alpha males are hunters, but they're not keepers. Um, that I'll tell you, I'll say this, that is probably just his opinion, right? Because these are people, these are men, and men can be whatever men decide to be. There are plenty of alpha males that are keepers. There are plenty of masculine men who are not keepers. Okay? So this is him trying to shine the light on himself. Look, I'm telling y'all, I hope, I don't know if this is your first time coming here, but I'm not on anybody's side. I'm on the side of truth and the side of love. Real thing. Let's go.
He said, I'm a keeper. He said, but masculine men will always stand behind. Tom is a masculine man. Masculine men will always stand behind alpha men who are always talking and toting and bravadoing. He goes, and we'll just wait for them to run out of gas.
Yeah. So they'll just stand behind and wait for the alpha men to run out of gas. That is considered a beta male. That's a beta male provider who's just waiting for the alpha guy to open the way, to lead the people, and then he's gonna come in and pick up the scraps. And he's gonna come in and take over from where the other guy left off. But can you still be a leader? Can people depend on you? That's the question.
He said, but we don't ever try to get in front of them. It's not our personality. He said, but we're the ones that's always there for you when you're crying.
Always there for you when you're crying. There's a bunch of other names for guys like this. Always there for you when you're crying. I'm here for you. And look, and some of these guys will act like they're actually your friend. They'll act like they're I just want to be a shoulder to cry on. No, you just want your opportunity to you want the door to be open for you, and so you can just walk through it. Listen, some of this masculine man traits is real close to beta male traits.
We're the ones that's always going to support you through your hard time.
We're the ones who are always going to support you through your hard time. Oh, come here. Come here. Put your head on my shoulder, and I got you. I got that big bad old alpha male. That old alpha male. He's wrong for you. Can't you see? He's wrong for you. Because what he really wants to say is, I'm right for you. But he should never treat you like that. And he should, man, get out of here with that.
But we're also the ones you're always going to step over to get to the alpha male.
Every time. Because there's a presence that an alpha male brings that feeling of security. That feeling of when you're walking into the bar or the lounge or whatever with a strong, powerful man, women often feel weak for that guy, knowing that he can take care of business at any time. Yeah. This is good.
He said, because television polarizes and displays and honors the alpha male. He goes, and I have nothing against them.
Yes, you do. Because television and media puts the attention on the strongest guy, the leader, the one that somebody wants to follow, and that the one that the women desire most.
He said, but there's a whole group of beautiful men called masculine men, and we're not aggressive, and we're not bravado, and we're not going to billy club you over the head.
Listen, if you're a masculine man, you better have some bravado. You better have something that shows masculinity, that displays masculinity, right? In some of the circles around here, you hear guys talking about money, muscles, game, and frame, and all those things, right? Because it all matters. It all matters. You can't skip over and say, oh, no, I'm not like those guys. I'm a masculine man. I don't do any of that stuff. No, sir. You're a beta male. Or falling down to a different kind of guy who's more feminine than masculine.
And drag you back to the cave. That's not our personality.
Mm-hmm.
But we will just be there for you.
We will just be there for you. We will just be there to be a doormat when you need us. We will just be there to lay down and to give you what you need and pat you back up so you can go back and go after the man who actually turns you on. Yeah. Be careful about this. So look, this is masculine man versus alpha male. We're having the conversation. I'd love to continue this conversation in the comments. Look, hit that subscribe button, you guys. Hit the follow button. We've got more to come. Hang in there with us.